Hi everyone! I just recently received my Ali Edwards December Daily 2021 product line. So I have everything unboxed and organized in this container here, as well as this container here. And so I thought I'd just come on here quick and share with you a couple of things. First of all, my plans for what content I'm going to be releasing this year for December Daily. And second of all, the way that I organized all of my supplies here. And lastly, I wanted to share a couple of other supplies that I would recommend getting if you have a similar scrapbooking style to me and you like doing stamping and interactive pages and things like that. So let's get started. The first thing that I'd like to mention is that I am part of Ali Edwards' December Daily creative team this year. So I did receive one of everything in their December Daily collection. And the album that I'm going to be using is this 10x8 that has this quote on the front. And this is a new size that they have this year. And it came with some page protectors, but I've just taken them all out because just throughout the shipping process, they were kind of crumpled on one end. So I just lay them between some books to flatten them out. And you'll see that I do have two albums. And that's because last year when I was doing the Citrus Twist Life Crafted albums, I took 3 of them to do my whole project. So I ordered 2 just in case. And if I have one left over, then I can maybe give it away next year. But otherwise, I am good to go. And I chose this one because I thought the bigger size would be kind of a fun challenge to do, especially with larger photos and the interactive pages that I like to do. So hopefully that will work out really well in this album size. So I do have most of my supplies in this one organizer. This is also from Ali Edwards and came in this year's collection. And it comes flattened, and you can assemble them by attaching these little tabs onto the sides of the box. And I have most things organized here. So I'll kind of bring it into frame and show you that I've created some dividers just with some craft cardstock. This is from Michaels, and labeled them at the top with my Brother labeling machine. So in this section here, I have wood, cork, and pleather embellishments. It just made more sense to me to have the wood and the cork together, and then the pleather just kind of got thrown in there as well. So I have the pleather pieces from the Paislee Press kit in here, and the December Daily main kit. And then I have the wood embellishments and the cork embellishments all nestled in here. And then this container here, I have the canvas, felt, and vellum pieces. So canvas and felt, again, felt like they should go together, and then I didn't have enough room to put the vellum pieces anywhere else, so I threw them in there as well. So I do have the, and anything that was fabric as well. So the fabric, I have the canvas patches in there, the fabric presents from the Paislee Press kit, the felt stars and the trees. I have the canvas word phrase stickers, and then the 2 vellum embellishments that were in the, I think this one was, I can't remember if this one was in the main kit or not. I think they were both add-ons. Oh, and the tiny red felt stars at the very bottom there. So hopefully when I'm looking for embellishments, I will be able to find the ones I need in here. I think sorting them by texture really works well for me personally, because when I'm working on my pages, I like to include a variety of different textures in my pages. So I think that will work out very well. In this very front section here, this is all one section, but I've kind of divided it up here. And in the front section, I have all of the cardstock, transparency, and miscellaneous embellishments. So miscellaneous are mostly these stars here. So there are the star sequins as well as these glitter stars. And then pretty much everything that was a transparency or on some sort of cardstock. So I have these hearts, the transparency hearts, as well as all of the cardstock embellishments here. And then I have some clear stickers that I had made in one of my recent videos. And then I have the transparency wreaths and the transparency tags with the circles in them. So that's everything in this front section. Oh, I guess I forgot to mention as well, there was this number 25 patch that came in the main kit, I believe. And I don't anticipate using this on any of my pages. The gold here is just a bit too bright for my liking. It's a bit too yellow. So I just stuck this onto the box and I think that looks really nice. So all the pieces go back in there. And then I have this section here is sorted by the journaling cards, and I have stickers, and then I have oversized items, so like the 4x8 or the 3x8 things. So I have all of the journaling cards plus the little envelopes from the main kit. I have all the journaling cards and the stickers from the Paislee press kit. I have all the journaling cards from the In a Creative Bubble kit. And then I have all of my flat stickers in here. So I'll just pull these out and go through these quickly. So I have word phrase, the labels, and then the attaching stickers as well. So those are all flat stickers. And then I have my dimensional stickers in the back. And again, these are organized just based on the fact that sometimes I need something that's flat and sometimes I need something that's dimensional. And as I'm opening my advent calendar, I'll be sorting the stickers into these two categories as well. And lastly, in this one section, I have my 4x8 things. So my 4x8 tags here, as well as the transparency and journaling card set that I'm very much looking forward to using. I love this gold foil that they have in there. That probably is creating a lot of glare, so I probably shouldn't do that very often. All right, and then in here are all of the kind of more oversized things. So this label here says chipboard and oversized. I did include in here the wood veneer numbers as well. These are going to be, I think I'm going to use these as my consistent number throughout every single day, and then layer this on one of the transparency hearts. So I have ordered, in addition to this, another pack of transparency hearts because I didn't think there was going to be enough to do all 31 days. I'm just going to quickly open this and show you guys. Sorry for the rustling of plastic here. So some of them have text on them, which means that it might be harder for me to layer these numbers on them. But I thought they would look so cute if I did something like this and had that every day of the month. And yes, this is not in the main wood embellishments pile because they are very big. I should also mention as well that this section here is designed for 4-inch wide things. So some of these sticker packages are a bit wider than 4 inches. So you'll see that this is not centered here because I have actually trimmed off about 1/4 of an inch off the one side. So that's why the package opens this way now. But I really don't mind. They're not going to like fall out or anything. And that way I find that it fits a lot better in this slot here. And then for the flat stickers, I didn't bother cutting off the packaging. I just threw away the packaging and put the stickers themselves in here without the packaging. So that can go behind there later. So in here I have all of my chipboard elements. So my chipboard embellishments, and then anything that was kind of oversized or didn't have a spot in the other sections. So this alpha sheet actually came as like a really long thing. This is the white glitter alphabet sticker set, and I cut that in half so that it could fit nicely in this area here. I also have my red felt hearts, and then some envelopes. So this envelope that came from the star kit is here. I have my canvas pouches, more oversized things from the main kit, and then the plastic frames, and then the pouches that came in the envelope kit. And you'll see here that I had cut down quite a bit of this packaging as well. This one had like huge packaging that was out to, I think, like here. So I cut off all of that so that it's just a bit more compact and will fit here properly. And then the last section that I have after that is all of the stamps that came in this year's kit. Now, I really liked the December Daily 2020, the bold alphabet set, so I might actually throw it in here as well and potentially use that in addition to all of my other stamps. But I have all of the stamp sets here. So there are the 4x6s right in front and the 6x8s in the back. So there's that one container full of goodies, and you're probably wondering, where on earth is your pattern paper? And that is where this organizer comes in. So this file folder organizer is the same one that I used last year to store all of my papers. I have here the little acrylic star that came in the star kit, and I've just taped using some score tape this little tag that came with it on top of there, and I had used 1/8 inch score tape just covering here and here as well as here and here, so it is quite sturdy. And then because this had a hole in it to tie it to this one star, I put some of the gold puffy stars there, and I think that is so cute. And I was debating about using this as an ornament, but I think I'm just going to let it chill out here, and it can add a bit of sparkle to my craft room. So here I have a little binder clip. I use this to hold some of my interactive elements closed sometimes when I'm taking photos, so it's always nice to have one of those there. These are some leftover tags from last year, and I might use them or I might not, but they look pretty in here in any case. And then in this front section here, I have all of my 6x8 papers and other things. So I have my 6x8 papers from the Paislee press kit. I have all of my cut apart sheets that are die cut. And I have my 6x8 transparencies, as well as the package of, I can't remember what these are called now. These are also like a die cut bundle, and these are like kind of a cardboard texture. And then in the back here, I have 3 file folders, and these are fall file folders, but they're super cute. So I thought I wouldn't mind having them for December Daily as well. But if I can find Christmas ones, I might switch them out. So in this first one, I have all of the pattern papers that came in both the add-on paper pack as well as the main kit. And then I have the vellum sheets as well, just kept in the package to prevent the foil detail from getting scratched up. In the second one, I have all of my printed ones. So before the December Daily kit came in, I had printed all of the sheets out and done a bit of experimenting with some of the items, as well as this foiled transparency with the stars on it. I do have a process video for this as well. It's part of my Stretch Your Steps video series, so you can check that out if you like. But I thought it would be interesting to compare the colors. These are printed from my Epson 1500 printer. And so I wonder how the color compares. And this is just printed on regular white cardstock. I didn't bother with using the specialty printer paper. So that looks pretty close. I'd say the printed version is slightly cooler toned. Like if you look at, I don't know if you can see between those two leaves, and I think they are the same leaf. This doesn't rotate, does it? No, it doesn't. Yeah, so if you see that leaf and that leaf there, this one, which is the one that I had printed, is a bit cooler toned than that one. So that's interesting to note. Although if you just look at them side by side, it's really hard, in my opinion, to tell in real life. But on the camera, it does show up as a bit cooler toned. So just an FYI in case you are interested. And like I had mentioned, I haven't tried printing on the presentation paper. You might have better success if you do that. Let's try comparing one of the red papers just out of curiosity. Which ones, oopsies, which ones have I printed out here? I didn't print them all out because that would be a waste of paper, but some of these designs I might use more than once. So I thought, you know, might as well have more than one copy of that. And then that way I am not worried about running out. Just while I'm looking for that, another thing that I thought about doing is printing these digitals on vellum. I think it would be really cool to have that, or on a transparency, because none of Ali's products have 10x8 transparencies. So this one is the one that I printed out on my printer, and this one is the one from the original. And you can see that this is a bit more faded in color, and this one's definitely more vibrant. So just a little FYI there if you were interested in that. So that is the first two folders, and the last folder I have all of the kind of random stuff that I did before my products arrived. So this one I had done a December Delights for the creative team, and my product that I was supposed to be advertising was the transparencies and journaling cards, and I had written the lyrics on the back and printed them out so that, you know, if when I was showing the product off on the camera, I could look at the lyrics. So there's that. And then I had printed out my reason why as well. So this will get put in my album at some point in time. I'm thinking I will probably do like a flip up for that. And when I post that and finish that off, I'll have a process video for how I put this collage together. So that's coming up at some point in time. I had done this as part of my Stretch Your Steps scrapbooking series, and I just left that in there just for fun. And then this intense 10x8 versus 6x8 album comparison chart that I had written up, as well as all of my 10x8 layout sketches for December Daily. And there is a link to this in my link tree as well as on my Instagram. So if you are interested, you can check that out as well. So just a bunch of random stuff in here. So just a couple of notes about what content I'll be sharing during the months of November and December for December Daily. So I will be continuing my 12 days of interactive December Dailies video series. And last year I had more than 12 videos up. And this year I might as well, but just to let you know, day 1 won't necessarily be on December 1st, and day 2 won't necessarily be on December 2nd. I might do some prior to December and a lot during the month of December, and then maybe some after December is over, because I'm planning on mostly working on my album during the month of December, but I will have a few foundation pages prepped beforehand, and I'll probably need to do some catching up afterwards. So just keep an eye out for that. And as part of Ali Edwards' design team for this year's December Daily, we were all invited to participate in product play. So my contribution will be an idea using this one stamp set. This is the Holiday Icon stamp set. So I am very excited for that. If you haven't signed up for product play, that is a $20 class, I believe. I'll put the details in the description box below if you're interested in checking that out. But basically, we have all of the members of the regular design team as well as the December Daily design team contributing one idea every day per for the month of November. And we are all featuring a different product from Ali's store. So the December Daily design team will be featuring products from like the add-ons, and then the main Ali Edwards creative team will be featuring products from the main kit. So there's another thing that I'm going to be doing. I'm also going to be doing a Stretch Your Stamps scrapbooking video series specifically for December Daily. So I've already uploaded the first one for digital stamps, and you can check that out. I'll put a link somewhere in this corner. And I have also done another one for digital stamps. That's part 2. And then I'll be doing one for physical stamps next month as well. Moving on to the other recommended supplies. So I have 7 categories of products that I'm going to go over, and they are paper, cutting tools, adhesives, stamping, embellishments, closures, and some other miscellaneous tools. So you don't have to sit through all of this if you don't want. I will put some time stamps in the description box below if you're interested in checking those out. So in terms of paper, I have a whole bunch of varieties of printable surfaces that I wanted to talk about. So for my paper, I usually like to use the photo paper glossy from Epson, as well as the premium photo paper semi-gloss from Epson, just depending on my mood. So I haven't decided which one I am going to go with for my December Daily. The reason why I like the glossy is because I haven't noticed a very large difference in terms of the quality between the semi-gloss and the glossy, and this one is quite a bit thinner. So if I'm going to be making a 10x8 album and I just want it to be one album instead of 2, I might want to save on the bulk of using the semi-gloss. So still debating about it, still haven't decided, but those are probably one of my two of my favorite photo papers to use. In terms of transparencies, I found one that can print on in your inkjet printer. So this one is the one that I would recommend for color printer. And I do have one for laser printers as well. And the reason why I want to have both is because sometimes I want to print out colored transparencies, and then sometimes I want to print out on laser printers so that I can foil them. Same thing goes for vellum. So I have 2 brands of, the same brand, 2 different types of vellum here. I've tried this one out with laser. I haven't tried this one with inkjet yet. This is a new find, so I'll have to get back to you on whether or not this works well for printing on vellum. And then I have my 2 different types of clear sticker paper that I like to use. So my thought was that these would be great for using on those transparency tags and circle shapes. And the one that I'm probably going to be using on those is the glossy one, and this is the Nito brand. And I also have this one here, which is matte, that I'm going to be using on adding journaling to journaling cards, for example. So I do have a video comparing the two different types of clear sticker papers, and I will put that in the description box below as well. Other than that, I do have some white paper that I like to use, some white cardstock. So the 65-pound, I have the Accent Opaque white paper, and then I also have my Neenah Solar White Classic Crest cardstock, which I like to use for more sturdier projects. So that one might be used for like interactive elements and things like that. In terms of cutting tools, these are the favorites that I like to use. So this Fiskars paper trimmer, or anything that has marks on here, definitely helps with getting straight and accurate cuts, especially for making interactive elements. And I also have my Tim Holtz tonic scissors. These are some of his older ones, and that's why they are red. I think the new line are black now. And then I have a couple of punches from We Are Memory Keepers. So this one is a crocodile, and it has like a smaller hole as well as a bigger hole. So the punches are here, as you can see when you press this down. There's the larger punch and the smaller punch. And this is actually an eyelet setter. So if you are wanting to set eyelets, that's what you would use. And then I have a variety of their corner chompers as well. So each one of them comes with two different sides that you can use to punch. So this one specifically has the angle punch, which I like to use to punch tags. So just give you an example. You can make pretty much anything into a tag shape just by putting that in and punching. And then I also have my EK Success circle punches as well in a variety of sizes. I have some refills for my Fiskars paper trimmer that I have handy just in case my trimming gets dull. And then I have the 6-hole punch. This is from a company in Japan. I think they make them for like 6-ring planner binders, but the thing that I found with this, and I for the life of me couldn't figure out how to align them, but this comes with like a rubber covering to keep the hole punchings inside. And in order to help you align your pages with the hole punches, you have to remove that off. And then now you can see where to punch the holes. Like if you insert a piece of paper, you can line it up with the holes and punch them like so. The one thing that slightly annoys me is that this hole punch doesn't, is slightly more, not as inset as some of the other page protectors. So for example, this is one of the 6x8 page protectors from Ali Edwards. And you can see when I layer this on top of the paper that I punched, that this piece of paper is slightly, like the hole punches are slightly more towards the edge than the page protector hole punches. So that's something to keep in mind if you are picky about things like that. I personally won't be using many page protectors just because most of my pages are outside the pocket, so I'm not usually concerned about that. For adhesives, I will talk about dry adhesives first, then wet adhesives. So the dry adhesives that I like to use, the main one is the Tombow Mono Permanent Adhesive Tape Runner. And this does come with refills as well. So you can buy the refills individually and just slide them in. And I will for sure be stocking up on lots of refills before December actually happens, because last December I went out and tried to get some and they had actually run out of refills, which was absolutely ridiculous, but you know, COVID, right? And for some of the sturdier elements, I like to use score tape, alternately known as Suk Wang tape. So this is similar to red line tape, except for the fact that this has kind of a more papery liner, and red line tape has a plasticky liner. So this one, I like to be able to just tear it off, and I find that works a lot better for me than red line tape. Especially when I'm doing kind of edge-to-edge coverage for my interactive pieces. You can actually, I hope this peels off later. You can actually tape this down, and then let's say that that's the edge of the piece that you're trying to cover. You can take like a gift card or something like that and just peel, and it'll leave a clean-ish edge there, which I find really helpful. And I like to use the 3/8 width as well as the 1/8 width, and this is just depending on like the hinges that I usually do are usually 1/2 inch, so the 3/8 inch score tape definitely helps fit in those places. And then this one I just use for more tiny places as well. But besides interactive pieces, these are very good for adhering things like wood veneer, for example, and other things like that. And for wet adhesives, my favorites are definitely the Gina K Connect glue, as well as the Zig two-way glue pen. So this one has a pen tip, which makes it perfect for if you're backing cut files or very delicate things like that. I find the adhesive on this is not as strong as this one. So this one here I would only use for paper to paper adhering and things like that. And this one I would use for kind of like heavier embellishments, like your heavier wood veneers or your acrylic pieces. Now, I have heard for felt that if you use liquid glue, it'll seep through the felt. So my plan is to use the score tape for that, but I haven't actually personally tried it. You'll have to let me know in the comments below if you've tried using felt and what adhesive you like to use. Moving on to the stamping category, I have my Tim Holtz stamp platform for if I ever want to make any precise stamping. But I usually just use my stamping blocks. These are from Michaels, and I find they work just as well. I'll be talking about stamping inks in a bit too, but I just wanted to mention this Versamark ink pad, and that's pretty much like a clear sticky type of ink that can be used with embossing powders and perfect pearls. So I will definitely be using those as well this holiday season. These are all of the embossing powders that I have, and I'm especially looking forward to this gold tinsel embossing powder from Ranger. And then I have my perfect pearls as well here, and I like to use these to add a bit of shine too. In terms of colored inks, I've gone through all of my ink swatches and picked out the colors that I thought would go with each of the 3 kits. So the main kit from Ali Edwards, the Paislee press kit, as well as the In a Creative bubble kit. And all 3 of them had a slightly different color palette. So I was able to pull together some of the inks that I thought would go best with each kit. And the inks that I primarily use are the Altenew dye inks, as well as the Distress Oxide inks. But we were sent the Christmas inks from Ali Edwards, and I did order the rest of her inks as well that haven't arrived yet. So I do have the Christmas ones here to compare the colors, and then hopefully I'll be getting the other ones soon. So in terms of the Altenew dye inks, I felt that the Vineyard Berry was the closest in terms of the red. Now, as you can see from here, this one isn't nearly as vibrant as the pattern paper, but I do think that it is quite a good match in terms of the tone of the red there. I did pick out an orange that I thought would go well with the oranges in the paper. I think these are so cute. as well as a beige that I thought went well with some of the beige elements, like these speech bubbles and other cards, etc. This is a bit lighter than the other beiges in this kit, but it was the closest one that I could find. In terms of greens, I had pulled out 4 of them. Frayed leaf, moss, mountain pine, and evergreen. I thought these made a nice color quartet with some of the greens in this pattern paper, for example. So I had some of the more blue toned greens as well as the lighter ones, and the darker kind of more warm toned green as well. And lastly, I just pulled out a blue because there was a bit of blue in some of the elements here. This one is a bit more dusty and gray than this one is, but I think it's a close enough match that I can use that. In terms of Distress Oxides, I primarily use these for doing techniques. I do sometimes stamp with them, which is why I have the stamped swatch as well as the blended swatch. But the colors that I thought went best with this kit are Fire Brick, Rusty Hinge, Pumice Stone, Bundled Sage, and Weathered Wood. And then in terms of Ali Edwards pigment inks, I liked this Redwoods, but I think that the tone in this red is slightly more warm toned than the red in the main kit. This Willamette was a pretty close match, I thought, to that pattern paper with the grid on it and has like the watercolor green. This one's pretty close to that. And then the Otter Rock just for a neutral, and of course the metallic gold for a pop of shine. The Paislee press kit I felt like had more warmer toned reds as well as cooler toned greens. So these were the colors that I thought went really well with this kit. So there's the Heartbeat from Altenew. These first ones are all from Altenew, and I think that red matches pretty closely with that ink. I have 3 pinks here. I have the Blush, Pink Diamond, as well as Pink Alicious, and I felt like these went really well with some of the pinks in the papers. There is this one pink that is a bit more blue toned than any of the pinks that I had in my stash, but that one matched closest to this Pink Diamond. But as you can see, it is a bit more cooler toned than the ink that I have. For the green, I had this one here, which is close to the green in the paper, but this one is still a bit darker, I think, than the Hunter Green. And then a nice blue to go with the blue in that kit. In terms of Ali Edwards inks, I chose Redwoods, which does match closer to this kit's red than the main kit's red, I find. And then the green I felt like was a pretty close match with the greens in the Paislee press papers. And of course, who doesn't like a bit of gold to go with that as well? And then for the Distress Oxide, I just picked a Picked Raspberry. That one I felt like was pretty close to the bright pink in that kit. Tumbled Glass. Again, this one is a bit warmer toned, I think, than this blue. This blue is a bit kind of a dustier blue, but I felt like that was a close enough match. Candied Apple, I think, is a close enough match to the red. And then Rustic Wilderness for the green. This one is a bit, I would say, a bit more warmer toned than the green in the Paislee press kit, but I still think that's close enough that I would still use that. And lastly, for the In a Creative Bubble kit, this kit had a lot of very cool colors, like this greeny teal here and this blue here that I just couldn't find any close matches in my ink swatches, but here are the closest ones that I found. So the heartbeat for the red, this rouge, so there's this lovely salmon color that's on some of the pages that I thought it would be really nice to have that rouge as an accent for stamping on some of these pages. Let me see if I can find where that, yeah, this one here. And then the coolest toned green that I have, which is this hunter green, which you can see doesn't even compare with the cool tones of this card there. And then I picked out a couple of grays and blues as well for the rest of the cool tones in this kit. For Distress Oxides, I have Barn Door again. Pine Needles, which is the coolest toned green in the Distress line. The Tattered Rose for that salmon color. And then Weathered Wood as kind of like a gray neutral typed color there. And then in terms of Allie's colors, I have the Otter Rock, Mackenzie, and Redwoods. So I will be posting some photos of all of these with the names of the inks on Instagram too, if you are interested in checking that out. And then that way, if I went over something too quickly, then you could find it there as well. And the last thing in the category of stamping are my two favorite black inks to use. So this one is the Gina K Amalgam ink, and this is kind of like a hybrid ink as well. So it stamps very clearly on smooth surfaces, I find. So this one is the one that I usually use for stamping on porous surfaces. And then for stamping on acetate or on glossy papers like photo paper, I like to use the Ranger Archival ink. So that's it for the category of stamping. In terms of embellishments, I am going to mostly stick to the kit contents from Ali Edwards, but I will be supplementing with a couple of extra items as well, because Ali doesn't have a lot of ribbons or other types of like metal embellishments, etc. So I do have all of my Christmas ribbons as well as my Christmas cotton twine that I will probably be using on some of my pages, especially for some interactive pages with tags, etc. And I have here a whole bag of other types of embellishments. You can hear the jingling already. So some Christmas bells. I didn't use these last year, but they might always make an appearance because they're just so cute. Some pom-poms. I have a whole bunch of different types of Christmas related sequins. And then in terms of metal embellishments, like I had mentioned, Ali Edwards doesn't have any metal pieces in her kit, so I thought these would be a good supplement, just in case I wanted to add something metal in there as well. And a couple of washi tapes that I just have in my stash as well. My next category is closures, and I felt like this was especially important to address for someone who likes to create a lot of interactive elements on pages. So here I have, this is from Michaels, and these are just like screwed on little organizers. So it comes with a lid, and you can open each compartment individually to open up the rest of the compartments. So in the first three compartments here, I have some brads from Tim Holtz. So there's silver ones, copper ones, and gold ones. And then after that, I have some more shiny, these are some shiny gold brads. And then below that, I have paper clips, and these are very small paper clips. And the reason why I like to have the brads, first of all, is because then you can create swivel elements with these. And I really like doing that with these smaller brads, especially. And these small paper clips are really handy for if you're holding two tags together, or if you're just adhering like a photo and a tag. These are handy as well. And the nice thing about the paper clips is that you can remove them to look at what's underneath. In this container here, I also have a whole bunch of random paper clips as well as binder clips and things like that. The ones that I like to use most are these diamond-shaped ones from Heidi Swapp. And I also have some larger paper clips than these ones, but a bit smaller than regular paper clips. And they're just kind of short and cute looking. And these are from Cocoa Daisy. So that's those ones. Magnets are also really handy for helping with closing interactive elements because you can hide them under some pattern paper or hide them under a journaling card, etc. And then these are very, very strong and thin. These ones specifically are from Treasured Memories, and you can see that they're very thin. And I like that these ones don't add too much bulk. Treasured Memories does have some thicker ones as well. So these ones you can see are a bit thicker. And then they have these smaller ones here. And they've been out of stock for a while. Treasured Memories is one of my local scrapbooking stores, my favorite scrapbooking store locally. So I've been using these ones as well, and these ones are from Basic Gray, and these ones come with like a plus and a minus side, and these actually already have adhesive on the back of them, so I won't open up the package, but they do have adhesive on the back. You just have to peel off the liner to use these, and they also have some larger ones. These ones I think are slightly thicker than the ones from Treasured Memories, but they both work quite well, and I like using those. And the last thing I'll talk about in terms of closures are these photo turn tabs. So these are kind of like if you have a picture frame and, you know, on the back of them you have this little tab that you swivel, and you can open that back of the picture frame open to put your photo in. And these are usually attached with screws, but for paper, obviously, I use brads to attach these. Now, these brads are a bit too small for the holes here, I think. Let me just check. So if you put the brad through, oh, this might be okay, actually. So you'll have a turn tab like that, and you can use this to close like a flap or something similar. So I like to have these on hand as well. And I've only been able to find the black ones. I've heard that you can get clear ones as well, which I think would be nicer for a December daily album. So I'll do a quick search for these ones and see if I can find any, but these are nice to have. And of course you can form closures with twine and ribbon as well, just by wrapping it closed and tying a knot and things like that too. And last but not least, I thought I'd just talk about some miscellaneous tools that I like to use for my interactive projects. So the first one is an electronic cutting machine. I have the Brother Scan and Cut machine, which I can use to cut out some cut files and things like that, but also to use stencil material with. So this is some stencil material from Treasured Memories. Again, that's my local scrapbooking store, but you can find stencil material through, I think Silhouette has some as well. And you can cut designs from this to make your own stencils, which I definitely plan on doing in one of my future Stretch Your Stamps videos. I think it's just a really cool idea and definitely a way to bring your digital products into physical. Other products to go along with an electronic cutting machine are these foil quills. So this allows you to foil on your projects using an electronic cutting machine. And I have the one here for the this is like a bold tip, and if you have any questions on how to use these, you can let me know, but basically it's just a fancy way of foiling if you do have an electronic cutting machine. Speaking of foiling, I do also have my Royal Sovereign laminator, and this just goes to show that you don't need to have a make machine to do foiling. In fact, The company that, the foil that I like to use is this iCraft, and they actually recommended this laminator to go with their foils. So they do work with the laminator. You just have to put it on the hottest setting to get it to foil well. And so between these two, you definitely don't need to have both of them. I think the laminator is a bit cheaper than getting the foil quill unless you already have an electronic cutting machine. And I do think that the foil quill is a bit more precise than using the laminator to foil your projects. So if you're looking for some fine detail work and you want it to be perfect or near perfect, I would definitely suggest the foil quill over the laminator, but the laminator works quite well in a pinch. And then I have my Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher, which has small stay-pos, which I think are really cute when I use them on projects. And then my envelope punch board, which I like to make little tabs and also little envelopes with. And of course my scoreboard for making those score marks and hinges for my interactive elements. The last thing that I'll mention is I have been debating about getting a sewing machine, and I have my eye on one. I'm just waiting for to see if it goes on sale before I get it, but hopefully I can get that before December Daily so that I can use that in my projects as well. I hope you found that video helpful in terms of how I like to organize my items, as well as some of the different supplies that I will be using this holiday season. I will definitely be pulling in some more items from my stash as I feel inspired to. Like, for example, maybe I can do a page with alcohol inks like I did last year. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed that. If you liked this video, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe for more December Daily videos coming soon. Thanks so much for watching!